Back to privacy and security. Today we're on the section Windows permissions. So let's dive into it. We're going to go into general here, advertising ID, local content, AMP, launches, setting suggestions, and productivity tools. So in here, this will allow you to personalize any ads by using the advertising ID. By default, that is always selected off for me. Let websites show me local relevant content by accessing my language list. All these defaults I always have on. Let Windows improve start and search results by tracking app launches. So if you don't want any tracking from Windows, then I would recommend turning some of these off. Like this one right here, and like this one right here. Show me suggested content in the settings app. So this is really nice if you want like news updates and things like that. When you're in your settings app, that kind of brings just new suggested content in there. Any updates from your computer, things like that, it will give you suggestions for that. Show me notifications in settings app. When off, required notifications still shown. So I don't like a particular amount of notifications keep popping up. I've had some of this issue with this computer, my brand new one, and it's just too much clutter. Things are popping in your screen, distracting you. I don't like that clutter. I already have enough on my phone, so I would recommend turning that off. In this case, I think I will on my computer. All right, moving back to our privacy and security center. Next one here is speech. Online speech recognition for dictation and other voice-based interactions. So you know how we were talking about before where they had the default speech app that comes with your computer? Well, this is an added bonus kind of on top of that, where basically it lets you use Microsoft's online speech recognition technology when you're using voice apps. So you might not be just using one voice app, you might be using multiple voice apps depending on what your needs are for your computer. So that's actually pretty handy to have on, but I don't use my microphone at all, so I don't really have a use for that, so I'm going to keep that off. Next one we have here is inking and typing personalization, custom dictionary words in your dictionary. So on this one, this is pretty nice to have on because it gives you recommendations for typing history and all that sort of stuff. I always kind of leave that default. The next one we have here is diagnosis and feedback. Diagnostic data, inking and typing data, tailor experiences, feedback frequency. So this kind of tracks the data for errors and stuff on your computer. So if you had blue screens of death or other kind of errors experiencing when you're going to websites, other applications that are for Microsoft, this kind of helps with that experience and sends that data back to Microsoft. And that data is very helpful with the error codes because that it gives them for the data, because it lets them know what they need to do to fix their apps in the future. For inking and typing, I recommend settings. I just keep those on. Tailored experiences, I don't really have a use for that. That's more like ad and recommendations and things like that. So I typically don't have that on. And then viewing diagnostic data. So if I wanted to see what was kind of going on my computer, I could turn that on and it would give me recommendations. But I don't need that. And then you could always delete the diagnostic data, but I don't like going in here a lot, so I just kind of leave that off so I don't have to mess with that. All right, we're going back to privacy and security here. Activity history. So activity history is pretty great. It lets you know exactly what your device has, like what websites you've been to, what your browsing data, apps, services, that kind of thing. Just the basic, input and output information of, where you're clicking, where you're going, things like that. And you can always clear your history, and that will clear all the cache data or cookie data that you've been to browsing on the web or using apps and things. All right, back to privacy and security. And the last one here is searching permissions and searching windows. So for searching permissions, this is actually the filtering when you're on web pages. I think this is more specifically used towards Edge, because Google Chrome would, and Firefox, if you had it, or Safari would have their own. But if you're using Edge, it kind of changes the filtering for it. So this is more for adult content. So you always want that to be strict. If you have children's accounts, if you have regular adult accounts, moderate is typically average and normal is what you would want that. And this is below this is cloud content search. So this is basically using the Microsoft products when you're searching to your OneDrive, if you do have their online storage through the cloud, or if you have a school account as well, just the cloud storage that you would have with them. Also, you can clear your device search history here as well for your device, so that's kind of handy. And then there's more settings. These are all default. I just kind of leave them how they're at typically, unless I have a need to change them. All right, and the last one we got here is searching windows. Search indexing for faster results. Find my files folders excluded from search. So this is kind of handy when you're trying to, just look through the basic things on your computer. Documents, pictures, folders, that sort of stuff. So when you're in your file manager, it brings all that stuff up. If you wanted the hints, you certainly could. That also affects, as you can read it here, search your entire PC, may affect your battery life and central processor unit consumption. The PC must be plugged in for initial indexing. So basically, this enhanced feature, you have to be plugged in all the time. And then these are the files that it excludes folders from your enhanced searched. And that's what these files are. And where they're located is in the root C drive of your hard drive. And the last thing we're just going to briefly touch on is apps and permissions. Each different app has this, and this is just access for your location for these different apps. As you can see, I have a camera app. I can turn that on and off. Old wallet app, different Chrome, basically browsers that I have here, and some other things like that. The default location, you can see that. Location history, you can clear that. Allows location override. You can turn it on or off for remote connection. Recent activity, so it monitors every 7 days, and you can actually see all these requests and what's the date and time and all that sort of stuff. So that's kind of handy if you're trying to backtrack something that happened. And the last one notifies when the app requests location. So that could be handy. A lot of this stuff, if you don't have a use for it, then I would just turn it off. But a lot of it's just defaulted on, so I just kind of leave it how it is. All right, and that pretty much wraps up our lesson today on privacy and security. As always, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out and I will get to your request in a timely manner. And this next video, what we're going to be talking about, the last section in our module here is called Windows Update, and we'll be getting that to on our next lesson. And I will see you guys there.